Hey, y'all. I want to come here and tell you guys thank you. First of all, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me the last time. Thank you for having an open heart and head to be open to the Candace Effect. The people that actually know me that came up to me this week and they were so excited about it. Like, you guys were just as excited about it as me, which was huge. Every time somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Candace, the Candace Effect," I was like, wait, how did you know about that? But then it was like, okay, well, hey, you guys are excited about it. I was told that people were happy for me. This is something that is really good for them. And people are actually looking forward to the conversation. So I'm excited about that. And I just want to say thank you again. And with that being said, I want to say, welcome back to the Candace Effect. If you're here and this is your first time, welcome. And if it's not, hey, y'all, welcome back. Let's sit down and let's have another little chat. Today, we're going to talk and we're going to talk about being bold and we're going to talk about being resilient and what it means to be just like not let your no be a no. And it's not even your no being a no, it's somebody else's no be a no, somebody else's expectations or what they think of you or what you can and cannot do. How about let's not let that stop us from doing the things that we want to do? So, with that being said, I want to tell you a story. We have a term in our house, and the term is called Aren't We Five? And you have to know the story to know Aren't We Five? Because when we say Aren't We Five, it just will stop you in your tracks. So I'm going to share the Aren't We Five story with you. And it's actually kind of a funny story and it's very simple, but it's pretty deep. And we're going to dive into it once I tell you the story. So one day, it was me, my sister, my niece, and daughter chilling in my bedroom, just kicking it. Seven, my son, who is actually 5 years old, got up and said, "Hey, let's go downstairs because I want to go play with Legos." And he looked at his cousin and said, "Come on, let's go." She looked at my daughter, who is the oldest of them because she's 8, and she said, "No, we can't go downstairs. Rainey said that we have to do X, Y, and Z." Seven stopped and looked at both of them, and he said, "Aren't we five?" She said, "No, I'm 7." And then he said, "I'm 5." He got up, walked around the bed, did not think twice about it, and went downstairs. He was downstairs being content doing what it is that he wanted to do. Later on, my niece went downstairs and she went to go play with him. But in that moment, I laughed at it because bro was literally like thinking, "You can't tell me what to do. Aren't we 5?" She grasped the idea like, "I'm not 5. I'm 7." Seven said, "I am 5. So whatever you got going on, can't nobody tell me what to do." In that moment, I took away from that he displayed so much boldness. And I just took away that, we need to, as adults, stop letting people tell us no. How many times in your life have you wanted to do something and you told somebody that you wanted to do it and their expectations of you or what it is that you were trying to accomplish? And the answer was no. If you think about that and reflect on it, how many times have you been stopped from doing something that you wanted to do because it was something that you wanted to do and somebody else told you no for whatever reason they had? We think about it. And now when somebody says to me, like, "I want to do X, Y, and Z," and they say, "Well, no, I don't want to do that." And I have to say to myself, "Aren't we five?" Because if I set myself out to have certain goals and do certain things, why should you let anybody stop you from doing that? Who are these people that are allowed to tell us that we cannot do certain things that we want to do in life? The things that we can learn from children, and that what I would like for you guys to take away from this moment is about boldness and about how many times has it been like you stood up and just said, "I'm going to be bold. I'm not going to let somebody else tell me what to do." I would like to challenge everybody to think about something that you've always wanted to do. So, take me, for instance. When I started bodybuilding, a lot of people were looking at me like, you're in the gym. You're not a bodybuilder. You don't do this. You don't do that. And today, when I was in the gym, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I am actually a bodybuilder. Once I decided to commit to a plan and I showed up in the gym every day, once I started doing my meal plans and I'm doing meal plans and I'm posing and I'm doing all the things, and people look at me and they think what their idea of a bodybuilder is, and then they know me, and their expectation of me is not to be a bodybuilder. What if I let that stop me? I have done a huge amount of shows. I mean, in the world of bodybuilding, I think I've done at least 6 shows, and only in one of those shows I didn't place top 5. All the other shows, I was either 1st place, 2nd place, and I think maybe one time I might have placed 3rd. But what I realized is once I committed to going to the gym, going to the show, and I stepped out on stage, what I realized is after I did my first show, guess what I was? I'm no longer just a girl that works out in the gym. I'm literally a bodybuilder. So if somebody told me that I could not be a bodybuilder or this wasn't for me, guess what? That's on them. I have the ability to do whatever it is that I want to do. So many times in life, we allow people to stop us from doing things because it's outside of their limitations. It's outside of what they think we are or who we are. We got to stop doing that. What we have to do now is look into ourselves. If you look into yourself and you say, hey, I want to do this, what's the real thing that's stopping you from doing it? I mean, if it's outside of doing something that's going to cause you bodily harm, sure. But how do you ever know how good you can be, what your potential is, unless you go outside of your comfort zone and do something bold, right? You will never know how great you can be until you do it. So I'm the friend that you can come and talk to. If you come to me and I think, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm never going to be the friend that's going to be like, why do you want to do that? I'm always going to be the friend that's going to be the cheerleader. Like, what? You want to do that? Do it. I'm always going to push people to do the things that they want to do because so many times we're told no. And for what reason? What could you do? Think about it. What could you do in life and how awesome would you be if you never stopped when somebody else told you no? Think about that for a second. Think about who you would be if you stopped letting other people's no's be your limitation. So many things. And when I reflect back on my son and his Aren't We Five? Aren't We Five? It shows resilience. It shows his simplicity because as a 5-year old, what can he really do? Oh, but he knows for sure that he doesn't have to ask permission for somebody to use his legs to walk. He knows how to get up and walk downstairs by himself. He knows where the toys are that he wants to play with. And he knows what it is that he wants to do. So he's not waiting for somebody else to approve him to go do something. He thought about it himself. He asked somebody, but then once they told him no, you can't really tell somebody no that has determination and has drive. Think about that for a second. When you think about and reflect on how many 5-year-old moments that we have, there's a lot. There's a lot of things sometimes that we stop doing because somebody else told us not to. I would challenge everybody to kind of sit down and think about it and be like, what can I do different? What is it that I want to do? I challenge everybody to just reclaim your power. Reclaim just your nonstop, nobody can stop me attitude. It's not about being super cocky or out here being like, I'm invincible, but it's a little bit like that, right? It's a lot of confidence, sure, but you don't know how great you can be until you go out here and do it. You know what I mean? We never know what we can do until we go out here and do it. I would have never thought that I would have been a bodybuilder, but I definitely am a bodybuilder. Do I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger? No, but I look like Candace. I look like Candace. When it's time for me to cut and get on the stage, baby, can't nobody tell me nothing. Nobody can say, oh, what does she think she's doing? I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing what makes me feel good. And I'm going to go out here and I'm going to put my best effort. And when I do, guess what you get? I would never know what it felt like if I went with what everybody says. Oh, you're going to be on stage and people are going to judge you. And I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad that I called my cousin, who's my coach, and I took the leap and I said, I think I can do this. I'm so glad that she said, do it. Because now where am I at? I am shooting for the stars. One day I will be an IFBB pro, wellness competitor. And if I'm not a wellness IFBB pro, I'm still going to have the experience. A lot of people can't do what I've done. So when I go back to it, it's just like, hmm, you never know if you could do it if you didn't do it. Does that make sense? The other thing now I can say is that I'm a podcaster. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Candace would be a podcaster? Not me. But here I am. I had a friend walk up to me and was like, girl, you're a podcaster now. I am. And I'm excited about it. So when I roll back around, what I want everybody to know is you have greatness in you. Never, ever, ever, ever let people muzzle you, steal your shine, or make you feel like you're not good enough to do certain things just because they aren't good enough to do certain things. I challenge you to think about your 5-year-old moments. And when somebody says that you can't do something, literally look at them and say, aren't we 5? Because aren't we 5 means that I know that I can do certain things. You can't tell me no to a certain capacity. I'm going to go out here and be great. And then either you're going to catch up or you're just going to be left behind. So I challenge everybody to just stop letting people say no. How great would you be if no wasn't your end? How great would you be? You would never know. So the challenge for this time is to look at yourself and look at some of the things that you want to do. Look at some of the things that you were stopped on for whatever reason. Now, if you stopped because that's what you wanted to do for yourself, cool. But if you stop because somebody else didn't believe in you or didn't believe in your dream or didn't believe in what you could be, think about it. And I challenge you, I'm going to say to you, aren't we 5? I genuinely feel like sometimes we come and we go to the wrong people sometimes. We look for validation for people before we make moves. What I want to do is, I mean, because I've done it myself personally. Like, I personally have gone to people and felt like I wanted to do something or been passionate about something. And then I go to somebody and in their idea, because they don't get my idea, they kind of trample over it. So sometimes we go to the wrong people for validation. Sometimes you just gotta kind of sit back in it and just do just do it. And then when it comes out right, then you know you're doing something from your heart. And if it comes out wrong, you know how to spin it around and maybe do it again. But I challenge you to not let your no or somebody else's no be a no and kill it. Let your no, let somebody else's no fuel your fire to give you the strength and the courage to just be bold, be you, go out here and do what it is that you want to do. We don't always need validation. Like, you're not always going to get validation, especially from the people in your circle. Sometimes the people in your circle really don't know. It's not because they don't care about you or because they don't love you. It's actually just because your vision is not their vision. And so your vision will always be your vision. Just go out there, be bold, be great, and challenge yourself to just be better. Don't let people stop you from being who you are and who you want to be. Okay? I am saying that from my heart. I'm saying that from my heart, and that's what I challenge you to do. So that's our takeaway, and that's our little chat for today. I want to give you all love. I want to give you all just like encouragement. And until we talk again, be great. And thanks for joining me for the Candace Effect. See you around.